Thank you for joining me. I'm Scott Ryan. You know, Patrick Henry had an interesting take on our Constitution, and he expounded upon the fact that what makes it unique is that it grants people of other religious faiths, other than Christianity that is, asylum, and that it wasn't supposed to grant other faiths the right to legislate their religious views, because this country was built upon the Judeo-Christian views, and that's what made our Constitution unique. And the important matter of asylum is also applicable to the Republican Party. What we see happening in the Republican Party under this appeal that has been made for the last decades that we should be a big tent party. I agree with that, but only in the sense that we should grant people of any persuasion asylum, meaning that if they want to vote Republican, if they want to help Republicans get elected, that's great. You're welcome here. But you are not welcome to come into our party, to infiltrate it, to seek leadership roles and dismantle it, and to undermine the platform of our party, the very thing that makes us Republicans. And that is analogous to what we've seen with people of other faiths like atheism or Islam in places throughout the country, Michigan being a major one, where they're trying to put Sharia law upon our backs, to dismantle our Constitution, to change our country, to undermine it and make it like nations in Europe and in the Middle East that have been tyrannical or socialist or Marxist. They do not have the right to do that. There is a good reason for it. It's because government, constitutions like ours, have a specific philosophy, and its roots are elucidated throughout our history. And an example of this, Newsweek magazine is called Obama, the First Gay President. And it was written by Andrew Sullivan, who is, according to a Newsmax.com article, usually a conservative-leaning author or columnist, but not in this case. And this is a prime example of what happens when we allow people to carry the mantle of conservatism and to infiltrate our party. Sullivan and a few others mentioned in this column are turning their backs on our party platform. They are praising Barack Obama for what he has done with this flip-flop on his position on gay marriage. And Sullivan says that Obama had to discover his black identity and then reconcile it with his white family, just as gays discover their homosexual identity and then have to reconcile it with their heterosexual family. He said that Obama only made his move after his hand was forced by President Joe Biden, who last week said he was quite comfortable with gay marriage. It is really insulting that they expect us to believe that Barack Obama shapes his policy based upon the whims of Joe Biden and the ridiculous things that he utters uncontrollably from day to day. So he made a monumental reversal on a position that he took in his prior campaign because Biden couldn't shut up about his position on gay marriage. That's preposterous. This thing was a setup. I agree with Rush Limbaugh on that 100%. There is no way that this was prompted by Joe Biden. That's absurd. Like anybody gives any credence to what the guy says. Everybody in the country, even people who know nothing about government or what's going on, they know that Joe Biden has a reputation for uttering idiocy any chance he gets. So this is a clear-cut example of them using Biden as a puppet and providing an out, or making the ability for Barack Obama to use him as a scapegoat for when this backfires. And then just another example of what happens when we placate and when we cater to left-wing Republicans and allow them to take positions of leadership in our party. In this Newsweek piece, it quotes a couple of Republicans. Mark McKinnon, first of all, a former advisor to President George W. Bush, he says that he gives the president great credit for voting his conscience, because when you net this all out, it's not a political winner. He said this on Face the Nation. He said it's a net loser. But he said what's important is we have a president who leads and stands for what he believes in. President Bush won re-election in 2004 not because people liked him necessarily or even agreed with his policies. They voted for him, says McKinnon, because they thought he had core principles and he would fight for them. This is a prime example right here. We have a trusted Republican, in name only, who was given the opportunity and turned the knife in the back of the party and is publicly giving Barack Obama praise and spinning his detestable flip-flop and lie on gay marriage and making him out to be a hero here. That's what we get for decades of placating this. And here's another one. Former Solicitor General Ted Olson, who held that job under Bush, said that McKinnon is a legend among Republicans. He said, I don't know about politics, but when asked about the move's possible impact on the election, I do know about human rights and constitutional rights. And on that basis, I think the president did the right thing, and I'm glad he did it. This is what we get. This is why we have the birth of the Tea Party. It is time that we put a stop to this nonsense and stop embarrassing ourselves by putting compromisers, people who are enemies to our Republican principles, in office just so that we can placate the left. Enough is enough. It is time to put a stop to this. It is time that we stop supporting candidates who will not swear to uphold the platform of the Republican Party. Thank you for joining me. I'm Scott Ryan.